What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 49 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Well, we rambled so much last week about the tier list and stuff that we didn't get to touch on anything else we wanted to talk about. So think of this as a part 2 for last week's episode.
We're playing catch-up, which is honestly fine because we don't really have a lot else to talk about this week. So it kind of works out. Just kind of splitting one episode into two, and just, yeah, sure, it'll be fun. It's like 48B, but it's not because that's not how our things work.
Yeah. So today's episode is going to be Week 1 Draft League stuff, Rumble 12 stuff.
Which, if you're interested, Rumble 13 is going to be this upcoming weekend.
I thought it was this weekend.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
So it's already happened.
So that means next week we'll talk about Rumble 13.
Yes.
And announce that we're going to do another Rumble in the next weekend. Yes, the next weekend.
Yes.
You're judging me and I don't care. I don't want to be on this show. This is how it's going to be.
So, what do you want to start with? We can do the Rumble, we can do Draft League. What do you want to do first?
Well, I don't care, man. Draft League's on my mind because I just played my match like an hour and a half ago for week 2.
Yeah.
But,
we're not spoiling any of that one.
Yeah, I did not record mine. Well, I didn't commentate over mine. But it was a very good match. Mm-hmm. So we're going to send that over to Jiggly and Evan and Sweet or whoever wants to commentate over it and let them do it.
It'll be on the YouTube 2 weeks from this episode going up.
Who knows, man?
No, that's what it is.
Okay, sure.
Because week 1 is this week.
Okay.
That's going up. Week 2 will be the week after this.
Sure.
So
glad you know what we're doing.
Yeah, I have it all planned out.
That makes one of us. I just record videos and you say, okay, you got it.
You just record and send them my way and then I just upload them.
You say, hey, this is what I want this week. I say, okay, you got it, boss man. Which, honestly, Angelo and Angelo and Aaron have helped me so much with just, all right, here's a team. I'll slap this together and send it your way. A+, man.
Yeah. Looking for more people to do that for us.
I know. This week for laddering, we're probably doing gonna end up finishing Gen 1 through 3. Because for the first initial week, we kind of just said, all right, here's a hodgepodge of good ones that we're going to play.
Yeah, here's all of our top ones we think are going to be decent. And then this past week was all of Gen 4 because we didn't touch any of them, but we thought they were all good and we just couldn't fit them in.
And honestly, all of them were pretty great.
Palkia definitely impressed.
Yeah.
Dialga was a monster. I knew Dialga was going to be a monster before we even did the episode. Giratina surprised me.
The second episode from Giratina, it had some very, very good A+ games. Mm-hmm. The first one, I kind of tilted myself because the night before I was laddering and I was 4-0 and then I ended the night at 6-4. I'm just you know what? I'm stepping away for the night. This is done. I got up, recorded the next morning, and just kind of put myself in that same mentality of just tilting immediately as soon as my first loss happened. Mm-hmm. And so it definitely showed in the video, I feel like. But I tried to not let it show. But obviously, I knew it was happening, so I tried to not show that it was. But the second one, after that, I'm just taking the rest of the day. I'm not touching Pokemon. Came back the next morning, just busted it out. Easy 3-0. Highly recommend you go watch that one. Giratina put on a clinic.
Yeah. Palkia had consistent 2-1s, both videos. Yep. Both games I lost, I ended up throwing because I just misplayed somehow. It's turn 1 or 2.
There was one where they led, I think it was Ice Rider plus Pheromosa.
Mm-hmm. And I just pitched that one up the window.
There was a play I saw, it was Fake Out plus Airstream the Pheromosa to prevent the speed swap from happening. If they set up Trick Room, cool. That's completely fine. But if they get speed swap up, I feel like you're just dead in the water. Yeah.
I wasn't sure what they were going to do because it's just a mess. And then once that happened, I'd give it up on that game.
Yep, just not tilted, but you're just all right, well, probably not recovering from this.
Yeah, like, there's nothing I can do here. I'm just going to click moves until I die.
Yep. Just, we're going to play this out because something might happen. You know, our opponent might disconnect.
Yeah. And then my last game with Palkia, I lost because I got double flinched from Rock Slide.
That one was rough. That one was rough to watch. I
was just like, come on.
Is that the one you brought, Politoed? Or was that the game before?
That was the third game. It was the game against no restricted. There wasn't the restricted one on the team.
Yep. Yeah, so far, Giratina, by far, just outdid expectations.
Yeah.
Palkia, pretty good.
Palkia
met expectations.
Palkia beats Kyogre. Palkia beats Groudon. Palkia beats Zacian. Palkia beats Yveltal.
It just sits in front of him and goes, "Alright, sure, whatever."
Yeah, cool.
And dude, that's the same thing with Dialga. It's just like, okay, you done hitting me yet? Just
the problem with Dialga is Groudon's not as easily dealt with as it is with Palkia.
The other big thing about Dialga, and Aaron Zhang commented on this because he was playing it this past week as well. You can't immediately Dynamax it in the face of anything that can reduce its special attack.
Yeah.
Because, like, as soon as it hits -1, your damage output is so drastically, like, so much worse that you're not picking up the KOs nearly as easy as you should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things that were previously 2-hit KOs are now 3. And that lets them get another Snarl off or whatever. And then it snowballs. And he said another thing that really got him was, like, Raichu Eerie Impulse. It's like, yep, did not play around that one, and we died to it. So
yeah, that's one of the downsides of having very high stats, because everything is based off of multipliers.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a high stat, so when you go up, you get more special attack, more things like that. The inverse is also true. When you go down, you lose more. It's just a weird thing. It's like what 2/3 of 150 is still a lot. It's much different than 2/3 of 100.
Yeah, I mean it's still higher.
It's still higher, but you're losing more out on being being at 150. So you definitely just deal less damage.
There was a game with Dialga. Heatran really, really impressed me on that team. Heatran was on the Giratina team.
Mm-hmm.
And Heatran really impressed me on that team. But Dialga, it was Dialga plus something versus Stack Attack. And like I put Trick Room up. And then like they bring in Stack Attack. I'm like, I don't care about that. I literally could not care any less about that. And I just like max quaked into it plus like high horsepower. It's like, alright. It was Glastrier plus Dialga, and I high horsepower triggered their Shuka Berry. Not what I had seen before.
Yeah.
I'm like, alright, well, that just means this Max Quake is guaranteed making up the KO.
You're super dead now. So yeah, Laddering's doing great. Uploading a video every day has been a little bit hectic. Once we get like ahead where I want to be, we'll be fine.
Yep.
It's making sure we get the teams, making sure we have the time.
That's the big thing, is getting teams for us is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because like I work full time, you work full time. So like trying to coordinate, hey, I need this team built, can you do this?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm in bed. I'm literally laying in bed going to sleep.
This is where community comes in. It's like for previous Laddering videos, we had a lot of community teams, and it was great. We haven't been getting as many because it's still early and nobody wants to share their secrets yet, so we're still kind of just building them ourselves, taking the time we can. We get them who we can when we can. But
so this is a big shout out to our Discord. If you are working on something, I'm gonna create a pinned post in the either Team of the Week or Littleroot Laddering, one of the two, one of those pages. I'm gonna create a list, and this is the list of restricted mods, and just cross out the ones we've played through so people know what we're looking for still.
Yeah, we would like to get through all the restricted ones before we start going into nitty-gritty these are the better teams.
Start tuning teams and stuff like that. So, really excited for that. So this week we're probably going to do, if we can get teams formed, we're going to do Mewtwo, Lugia, and Rayquaza.
I'm on the docket for Lugia and Rayquaza, and I believe you're doing Mewtwo.
Yeah, I'll play Mewtwo. It's something I worked on for literally day one, and it did not feel good.
Yeah, I got blown up. I know there's a couple people in the Discord that are like, oh, Mewtwo's going to be great. You rated Mewtwo too low in the last video.
Like, please show me.
Show me why, because it just dies to a sucker punch a lot of the time.
And not only that, it's just like, oh, they have Shadow Rider. Guess I'll die.
Yeah, I can't beat that. Or Dark Urshifu's another one. It's just like,
guess I'll die.
I can't touch it.
Like, I think you get Dazzling Gleam, but
if it's Focus Sash, you're dead.
Yeah. It just punches you and then you cry.
Mm-hmm. But back to Draft League. Week one's, I think, so Evan did a good rundown of all the matches, which if you haven't seen his video,
dude, Evan's stuff is absolutely insane.
He does a very good job with his matches. He's got nice he's got Aaron's Cybertron Zang's inspired flowcharts and
it's
slideshows.
It's very good.
Great. Definitely go check out Evan's stuff. His YouTube link is probably somewhere on the Discord and somewhere.
We'll have it down in the show notes too, for sure.
As long as I remember to do all that stuff. I forgot to put the image of the tier list last time. So.
Oops. Yeah, I had someone. They tagged us on Discord. They're like, "Hey, can you explain placing this here for the audio listeners?" And I tried to, but Carl gets going. He just places things. I'm like, all right, hold on. We need to slow down. I had to talk about these.
We had an hour and 45 minutes episode.
Don't yell at me, okay?
I needed to move faster, so I didn't have 2 hours to trim through. But Draft League's doing well. Had a couple bumps, getting week one going, but everybody's mostly been going pretty well. I know.
Are you doing stats?
No, I am too busy to even keep track of that stuff.
No, see, I am. I'm keeping track as we go, and
I'm not interested in that stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
I drafted my teams, and I know what I'm doing, and I know who's good, and I know who I need, and that's all that matters.
So, your week one matchup, you played...
I played the worst matchup I could ever get.
Yeah, you played Sand week one. The
guy who's got G-Max and restricted both weeks to Rock just got the worst matchup week one. T-Tar Excadrill, let's go. I ended up bringing Landorus, Gigas, Comfey, Thwackey, Blaziken, Yveltal.
Okay.
So the idea there was if I can set Sun with Thwackey.
Okay.
And Blaziken can sweep everything on that side of the field. Or I can go and abuse their stand with Sandforce Landorus, which was the super cute play because it was physical assault vest. with a ton of damage and just started blowing people up.
Okay.
Earthquake was super good. Also, Focus Blast on Yveltal. I didn't miss a one.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Oh, yeah, no, especially when I know I miss them all the time. Just didn't miss a single Focus Blast. Game one was pretty handily. They tried to do some kind of stall stuff, and Yveltal just...
ate them up.
Started eating them up. Game two, I tried to get Gigas going, but I missed my input and timed out turn one. And it just fell apart, so I ended up Dynamaxing a burnt Landorus, and it almost got me back in that game.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, is I almost came back. And I'm just like, okay, well, that means I knew my 4 for game 3, left Gigas behind, ended up stalling out Tyranitar's Dynamax, and bring Yveltal in, and Yveltal just cleaned them up.
Yeah, because you were playing Sandforce Landorus, which is... A+.
Oh, yeah, no, that's great. Sandforce is the best part.
Be like, all right, nice Tyranitar, thanks.
Bang.
So, myself, I played Adam week 1, who had, let's see.
Kyogre.
Yep, I know Kyogre was the scary one.
Kyogre was scary for your team.
Kyogre, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Kartana, Talonflame, Tracheon, Alola Chew. Yep.
There's not a beat up on that team, is there?
No. There, out of his 10, there is not. Because I sent it to you, I sent it to Navier, and Ro, and Evan. They're just like, where's the beat up?
Yeah.
Just like
I'm just saying, I remember like looking at it, I was like, there's no beat up on this team.
I'm like, okay, does Urshifu get it and I'm missing this? And everyone's just like, I'm pretty sure there's not beat up on this team. So when I saw Terrakion in team preview, I'm just like, okay, that actually doesn't do anything. I don't care.
Yeah, there's no crazy setup to get around. You just blow it up.
So he also had Guzzlord and Greedent, both of which, like, if they got Trick Room up, would have been very terrifying.
They could definitely sweep your team.
I went a little. I don't even think I went like deep on my like plays, but we had Max Special Attack Moonblast on. Max Special Attack Moonblast boosted by Pixie Plate on Sylveon, which has a roll to one-shot Dynamax Guzzlord, depending on their investment.
That would do it.
And then we had Foul Play Yveltal for if they belly drummed with Greedent, we can one-shot Dynamax Greedent at +6.
Neat.
So Adam and I did a post-game interview.
It's on his YouTube channel?
Are we not putting it up on ours?
He has his own. He didn't send it to me.
Oh, I sent it to you because I also recorded.
You sent me your side, yeah.
Yeah, which also has the in-game interview on it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get that one up or not, but
yeah, sure, whatever.
I didn't want to step on anybody's toes because it's up on his channel. So
sure, sounds good. Definitely go check that match out from both of our perspectives because talking with Adam, he said there was a lot of things that he was playing with for the first time. He's like, yeah, I've never played with Kyogre. I've never played with Urshifu. He's like, I'm like, what?
The Urshifu thing, I can understand. Like, Urshifu's new to this generation. That's cool, whatever. I don't know how long he's been playing, so if he has been playing very long, he might not have had a chance to play with Kyogre.
True.
If he's like me and started in Sword and Shield,
this is the first time you would have an opportunity to.
Yeah.
And, just like, there was something else he mentioned. He's like, I think it was Kartana. He's like, yeah, I haven't ever played with Kartana. Like, all right, well, sure, whatever. But we were really terrified. Because I don't know if you know this, but Max Kyogre does a literal fuck ton of damage.
A ton. It does a ton. I believe you were Pasho Berry Incineroar.
Yeah!
And you still got blown up.
I was Light Screen with Raikou plus Pasho Berry Incin, and I lived on 12.
That just goes to show.
Yeah, behind Light Screen, I believe Raikou went to 7. It's like, this is terrifying.
Oh, goodness.
Like, I'm gonna double Snarl and hope we get it. That's what came down in Game 3. It's just like, alright.
Snarl Bros, get him.
I'm gonna Snarl, and I'm gonna Snarl. Alright, and now Yveltal's gonna come in. I'm gonna click Snarl.
Get him!
It eventually got to the point where Kyogre was at, like, -4, and I literally just like, alright, this does actually nothing anymore. I don't care. Your Water Spouts aren't doing anything. Your Origin Pulses do next to nothing because you're a -4. So, blow up everything next to it and ignore it, and eventually we'll win. Which, we almost lost Game 3 because he had Poison Jab on Urshifu, and Poison Jab was probably a roll to knock out my Serena. Mm-hmm. And he got the poison.
Yeah.
Just like, I could lose this.
Just gut punch you there.
So, it was a very, very good match, and Adam is, dude, he's such a good player that Honestly, I'm really glad to have him in our community because it's not going to only help our guys, but it's going to help him grow even more too. Yeah. So, and then of course I have all my stats for my game tonight, but we'll talk about that next week.
I haven't played mine as of recording. I played mine a day late on the Saturday after we're supposed to have played it.
Well, you know,
work, whatnot.
Looking at yours, man.
Oh, it's tough. It is.
Both of you, like, you've talked with me about it. Rose talked to me about it, and like, from both of your sides, I have no idea what the correct six.
Exactly.
And you know, you sent me a list, and I have tried to ignore it because obviously I'm trying to help him as well because I have helped him literally every week since Monotype League started.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I actually have no idea what the correct six is. Like, we're running calcs and it's just like, all right, well, this dies, but if we live somehow, we can do this much, which isn't enough. So we need to find a different way.
That's I did that for bees when I played in week 1. I was like doing the same thing. It's like, okay, well, what's the max damage X can do to me? Okay. So if I do this, what's the max damage that I can do back? And it ended up never making it there, so I just ended up doing 252, 4 on everything, except for, I think, Thwacky. Thwacky was the one I didn't have to do that on because Eviolite's a boss.
Eviolite is busted. Speaking of Eviolite, I have Rhydon. I'm probably going to drop him, man. He hasn't been good yet, and both weeks I've played against Trick Room. Like, there was a Trick Room option.
Wait till you find the guy with, like, an electric type that you're scared of.
Which, honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be that scared of him, because I have Raikou, too. It's just
Isn't Rhydon C?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good C's in there. Angelo and I were seriously debating picking up Miltank. Like, both of us simultaneously picking up Miltank in our respective pools. And Aaron's just like, please stop.
One Whitney is enough. We don't need two more.
But hear me out. What if we both did it, too? He's like, yeah, I'm actually going to beat both of you.
You asked me that same thing. I was like, what does it do?
Like, it carries an assault vest.
Like, you said Sap Sipper, I'm like, that doesn't mean anything.
That actually means nothing for my team because I'm getting rid of the big grass weakness on my team.
Exactly. It's like, it means absolutely nothing. Like, Scrappy's like the coolest thing it gets, and that's about it.
I'm going to go look at the pool, see if there's anything cool I can find.
I'm still on the fence about swapping Lando for Weezing after this week, just to see if I can...
Honestly, I don't think you need it, man.
I don't think I do either. I've got multiple ways to trigger it, to make it to where Gigas just takes off. Also, the cool thing about Rose Team is super slow this week. It's just super slow in general because it's just like Trick Room plus mid-speed stuff with Dialga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, well, if I just bring a way to stop Trick Room and outspeed him, I might get there fine. Just sitting here thinking about it, I have a couple more ideas that I'm not going to share that I'm just going to... I'm going to keep to myself for a minute and just think about them. But yeah, Dialga is scary for my team just because I didn't draft a Dragon, which it doesn't matter if I didn't draft a Dragon. But Dialga is like only weak to ground and fighting. Which, notably, I have Landorus and I have Gigas. And they both hit really hard.
They do. But do they hit hard enough?
We can OHKO in certain situations with Landorus.
Okay.
There is a world where Landorus OHKOs the Dialga, depending on what they needed to do. It all depends on how they spec it.
Okay, I found the perfect partner for Registeel. Shuckle.
Shuckle's still available in the group?
Shuckle is undrafted in every group.
That's not true.
According to this.
Yeah, it was drafted, and then it got dropped.
Well, that's sad.
Because it was drafted in my group.
That's sad. Who's going to disrespect Shuckle like that?
I don't know, someone who lost their week 1 matchup.
Man, I kind of want to pick up Shuckle. I know I'm going to get talked out of it, but I kind of want to.
The good news here is, like, if I lose this week, I have losses to give because I won week 1.
Yeah.
And
Same.
the way we're doing Top Cut, it's just going to be like,
I believe
2 gets in.
Yeah, X and 2 should make it in, especially across all groups. I think after drops and everything else, I think X2 is going to be good enough. X2 is guaranteed,
yeah. Unless there's some weird scenario where there's a million X2s in your group. Which the only way you can have a million X2s is 2-2. All your X2s are going to be 2-2.
Well, that's how X2 works.
Well, for this one, yeah. We were originally planned for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But a bunch of people dropped, a bunch of people just swapped around, so we only had 12 main groups now, so we only did 4 rounds.
Does Cantonian Sandslash do anything?
No.
It gets Sandvale?
That's about it. Sandvale and Sand Force?
Sudo Voodoo?
No. Anything else? Do I need to shoot down? Let me see.
I'm thinking Sigilith. I gotta find it if it's still available. It is.
Surprise Sigilith is in C.
Yeah. We were looking. Sigilith and Xatu are super similar. The big difference is you have Magic Bounce versus Magic Guard. Past that, Sigilith is pretty much superior in every way. You have better bulk, better special attack, better speed, worse attack.
It's supposed to be a support one anyway.
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Your special attack is 105 versus 80. So obviously you can deal out damage if you need to, but
I used Sigilith in something and it was great. I liked Sigilith a lot.
Was that season 2?
I think so. Because it was my Trick Room and my Tailwind at the same time.
Yep, and it gets imprisoned, so I can shut down opposing Trick Rooms compared to
its coverage is everywhere.
It gets
Heat Wave, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball.
That's how Xatu is too. It's just the big difference. There was one move difference, and I can't remember what it was. And it's just is this worth having worse bulk? And I'm no. I don't think so. I can't remember what it was.
Sigilith gets a bunch of the weathers too. Gets Rain Dance, Sunny Day, things like that.
And it gets Magic Bounce, Magic Guard, so it can't be hurt by weather, which is also huge. Yep. And if you really want to go deep, you can put a Life Orb on it. I think we're going way too deep at that point.
Yeah, at that point you're going a little bit deep, but it's definitely a very good support one. Like I said, I'm on the fence about dropping Orlando for Cantonian Weezing. Just maybe.
I lost the Charger Bug on laddering. I got to figure out what that one did.
Battery.
Yeah. You know what is really good next to? Lapras.
Yeah.
I learned this the hard way, Carl. It was terrifying. I lost to a bug. And then they put up screens and I couldn't kill it.
Yeah. Charger Bug is actually extremely bulky.
Especially with Eviolite. It's insane.
Uh-huh.
So it actually would not be awful next to Yveltal, and if I wanted to, we could have Sylveon, Raikou would also be another one, just alright, well, we're going super offensive this week next to Charger Bug.
Charger Bug!
It's alright, set my light screen.
I love the shiny for Charger Bug, too.
Dude, it's a good shiny. It's a real good shiny.
Oh, okay. Well, that's about all I think we could cover about for Draft League.
I'm going to figure something out for Rhydon. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. It hasn't pulled its weight yet.
But you're only 2 matches in, bud. You just haven't had a team. You played against Kyogre and ground types. You can't play it because you just die to everything.
That's very true.
Everything kills Rhydon.
I have faced 2 very awful matchups for it. This week, I had Groudon, Galar, Zapdos, Scrafty, Escavalier.
What else was on that team?
There was Dragapult, so they could just surf
you to death. Yeah,
I literally can't bring this ever. It dies to 3/4 of their team.
Yeah,
and the other 4th doesn't care about it.
Yeah, you eventually will find the matchup where Rhydon's great, and you'll be sad. This next week's the last week to drop Pokemon, though.
I know, that's why I'm thinking about it. Morgrim's available.
In your group?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really good. That is really good.
I gotta think on that one.
Ready to move on to this Rumble?
Sure. What do we got for last week's Rumble?
So what we got here is the top 8 from the Rumble number 12. Was 20 players, 5 rounds. They cut the top 4 just because I think out of convenience. Kaizen ended up winning the whole thing with Ho-Oh, notably.
Ho-Oh's great, man.
Which kind of spurred on my Ho-Oh kick. Trying to figure out how to play with weakness policy Ho-Oh for the longest time.
And then you changed it to choice band, and then you changed back to weakness policy, and then you changed it to life orb, and then you went back to choice band.
Yeah.
And then I think you put lefties on it at one point. I'm like, Carl, what are you doing?
Just playing with it, trying to figure out what's good for it. Ho-Oh, Raikou, P2, Rillaboom, Tapu Fini, and Metagross. Not having Incineroar on this team is weird. I feel like this team wants Incineroar really bad.
Yeah, but over what? Probably Fini? But Fini rounds out your Firewater Grass core.
I would say probably over P2. Let's be honest here.
P2 is a very good answer to Shadow Rider. If you want me to be 100% honest, it comes in.
Ho-Oh is a very good answer to Shadow Rider.
Really?
Yeah.
He just sits in front of it and says, okay,
just
whatever.
Says whatever. Yeah. I got 150 plus special defense. Let's go.
And Regenerator, so you can just be like, all right, I'm out.
Bye.
We'll be back, though.
Come back. And then we're putting Incineroar on the team, which is also a very good answer to Shadow Rider.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of just what Incineroar does is just good against it. But yeah, the team is really cool. If they had shared the paste, I was going to play this one for laddering. But they didn't share it, so I didn't ask for it.
That's fair.
It was just nice, just being nice. Second place was Evan with Reshiram here.
I'm pretty sure he just put himself in here on the graphic just to make him look good.
Reshiram, Togekiss, P2, Rillaboom, Suicune, and Klefki.
I'm very interested in this Reshiram.
Do you know what Klefki does?
Magician? Or are we Prankster screens?
Prankster. It does screens. Specifically Fairy Lock. Keeps you from switching out.
What?
Yeah. Fairy Lock keeps the Pokemon on the opposite side locked.
So it's just mean look, but fairy type, and therefore has priority with Prankster?
Yes.
So what does that accomplish?
It keeps people from doing parting shots, U-turns, volt switches, things like that.
Don't those get around it?
I don't think so.
Because I always thought that's how you got around Mean Look and Parasong and Whirlpool and stuff like that. Was you just U-turned off them and got out.
I don't know. Fairy Lock was weird. I know Klefki's move said it. Fairy Lock was weird. That's all I remember. Because it's the signature. It's one of the signatures for Klefki. The other one's Crafty Shield.
Which I literally no idea what that one does.
Prevents
status
moves, I believe.
Alright, effect.
It's a fairy type that prevents status from hitting you.
Fairy Lock prevents all Pokemon on the field from switching out or fleeing during their next turn. So it's not even permanent. It's just, you can't go anywhere next turn.
Yeah.
Fairy Lock does not prevent the effects of moves or items that force the target to switch.
Car's got COVID, everybody run.
No, not quite. Such as Dragon Tail, Whirlwind, Eject Button, or Red Card. If a Pokemon that's on the field when Fairy Lock is used goes on to faint later in the same turn, the Pokemon replaces it will still be unable to switch out. Weird.
I told you, it's a weird move.
If powered up by Ferrinium Z, turns into Z Fairy Lock, which boosts the user's defense.
Cute. This is most likely just light clan screens.
Yeah, most likely.
Gets, like I said, Crafty Shield prevents status, which is essentially just a weird safeguard.
In version 1.1.0 of Sword and Shield, using Fairy Lock when animations were enabled caused the console to crash. In multiplayer battles, where animations are mandatory, both players' consoles crashed.
Huh. Neat. I learned something today.
It was patched.
I can tell. Because I've used it since then. And I didn't crash.
That's cute.
Yeah. Notable other Pokemon here is like we have Togekiss.
Togekiss is making a comeback, man.
Yeah, Togekiss is on here twice.
Does Reshiram get like Calm Mind or anything to set up next to Togekiss?
Good question.
Evan, I am interested in this paste to play for laddering. Please send it to me.
We need Gen 5 stuff.
We do. We have, what, 5 Pokemon from Gen 5 to play because we have the forms?
I'm not counting base Kyurem.
Okay, so we have 4.
I was just going to do the 4. I was going to do Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem White, and Kyurem Black. Okay. Because regular Kyurem doesn't really do anything.
Regular Kyurem is going in the same pile as regular Calyrex and regular Zekrom. Necrozma. There we go. It's like Zekrom, but backwards.
Oh my goodness.
Can you tell I've been up for way too long today, man?
Yeah, same. Rounding out the top 4 here, we have 2 Kyogre teams. One is Tornogre, one is like Kyogre Rain, which is cool.
I've seen a lot of this like Kingdra Kyogre nonsense, and every time I see it, like granted, I've been playing with, Giratina and Dialga this week, it's just like, I don't care about anything you're doing.
Yeah. Palkia it's kind of like an inverse of Palkia, because Palkia fills the water Dragon Core, and then I have Politoed, which fills the water Pokemon Core, and they do the similar things. It's just, I'm not trying to go super duper fast. I'm just trying to blow you up with my Max Geyser or my Max Wormwind or whatever I have going on.
Oh, man. Plus Stack Attack. Stack Attack is great, man.
Yeah, it really is on good. Here is like a Trick Room. Like, if I need to go slow, I can, but usually the rest of this team doesn't really want to go slow.
My big one that, like, I incidentally have speed control by playing Trick Room on, like, one generic Mon. My go-to has been Glastrier in this format.
Yeah.
I had it on the Groudon team. I had it on the Giratina team, I think. Yes, I did? I don't know.
Well, I have your Glastrier, so I don't know if you did or not.
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't then.
Like, I have...
I had it on the Dialga team, though, because Dialga had Trick Room.
Yeah.
That team was way better than we thought it was going to be. Because Rose sent it to me. He's like, I have played 0 games with this. Good luck.
I knew Dialga's is good in general, no matter what happens.
It's very good, man. Cannot preach that one enough.
Looking at the Tornogre team, this is, again, very similar to the Palkia thing I was doing. It's like I had Kartana on my team.
Yeah, Tornogre, Kartana is like pretty standard when it comes to
those 3
Kyogre
they
things.
do things really well. Kartana resists electric type attacks and all that stuff. And then we just slapped on Mamoswine and Thundurus.
Yeah, sure, man.
I'm pretty sure this is probably like a Lumberry or like a Life Orb Thundurus, just because Life Orb's not going to be on anything else.
Probably Life Orb Thundurus, Focus Sash Mamo, Assault Vest Cart, Safety Goggles Ensign, Mental Herb, and then probably Mystic Water on the Kyogre.
Yeah, Mystic Water's become probably the number 1 item for Kyogre, just so you can Dynamax it later on. And still do more damage than what you would with a choice item.
I had a game where Heatran, in the rain, used Heat Wave and one-shot a Dynamax Kartana.
Damn! How many fire attacks did he before that?
0.
Jeez!
Literally, base Heatran just, bang, you're dead.
Goodness.
Because the Dynamax and I was in Trick Room, I'm like, I don't care about that. It was great.
Was it AV?
I don't know. It died.
I don't think it was if it died like that. It
couldn't have been, but I don't think it had chip damage on it to break a sash. So I really don't know.
Expert Belt?
Maybe?
Expert Belt is a...
Or Life Orb.
Is a decent
item. I can see Life Orb on it, but I don't know. It died, so it doesn't matter.
Moving out of the top 4 here, down into the top 8. These were the teams that were just good enough to be put on the thing, but they weren't good enough to make top cut, because a lot of them had these 3-2 records.
Jiggly bringing Jigglypuff.
Yeah, so there's a funny story here. Jiggly and one other person, I believe it was Hana S in the Discord.
That sounds correct.
I believe they both had the same team, except for the Jigglypuff slot. The Jigglypuff slot on their team was Clefairy.
I know when Pikalytics first put out their like initial Series 8 from the Legacy server, Jigglypuff's like teammates were literally this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one else had played any games with Jigglypuff other than Jiggly.
Yeah. Solgaleo, Spectrier, Jigglypuff, Rillaboom, Tapu Fini, and Mimikyu.
Bulldoze, Solgaleo, go big, go burr.
Yeah. Bulldoze on Solgaleo notably means you don't get the speed drop, but everyone else that's grounded does, because you have full metal body, which is essentially clear body.
Yep, I made a mistake the other night of mixing their abilities up. I thought this was like Prism Armor. I'm like, alright, well, you're -1 speed, I should be fast. Oh. Oops. And then I died.
So yeah.
I feel like that's how a lot of my stories end.
Notable thing here, Necrozma's 97, I believe, base 97 speed.
That sounds correct.
Solgaleo's base 97 because Prism Necrozma is 77. I think we had this discussion last week too, talking about them.
Yes.
I'm trying to get all the restricted speed tiers in my head because this is the same speed tier Urshifu's on.
I'm just going to say it's like 90. It's a restricted one. It has to be 90.
It's in that 90 range. I believe it is on the same speed tier as Urshifu.
Which, yeah, I believe is 97, which Yveltal and Xerneas outspeed because they're 99. I don't know anything that's at 98. Granted, that's a really weird number, so I'm going to pull up Showdown.
I'm about to say, look at Showdown. I'm going to finish talking about this game here.
Yeah, do your thing.
There's a big thing here where it's just like Mimikyu plus Spectrier plus Jigglypuff is just like kind of iffy. I know I played a Jigglypuff team for Jiggly. I think it was, I can't remember if it was just before Series 7 or it was like just after Series 7. I don't remember now.
I know it was in Series 7. I think it was like the last one of Series 7.
I played a Jigglypuff team, and Jigglypuff actually did work. It survived a lot. It kept everybody alive. So, just things to think about there. Friend Guard is busted.
There are 3 base 98 speed Pokemon.
What are they?
Hydreigon,
Okay.
Basculin Red, and Basculin Blue.
So 2 Pokemon.
But 2 forms.
Yeah.
They're different, Carl.
No.
Are they? They have different abilities.
They have different abilities, but...
Reckless versus Rockhead. I actually didn't know that.
Reckless increases damage.
It increases
From
damage on recoil moves, but as a result, you take more recoil.
Mm-hmm.
Rockhead prevents recoil.
The
yeah. And then they both have Mold Breaker as a ability. Their hidden ability. Which I think is relevant for something. I don't know, man.
They have the same Pokedex number.
Yep.
So yeah, I would still count it as one Pokemon, but different forms. Kind of like how Rotom is one Pokemon, but 5 forms.
I mean, can you imagine getting to play more than one Rotom on the team?
Oh, goodness. You'd have Rotom Heat and Rotom Wash paired to each other all the time.
Wouldn't that be great? Doesn't this sound amazing?
Moving down from Solgaleo into the one Groudon team, one Venudon. And this is hard, son. This is sun every which way to Sunday.
I wonder if Sableye has, like, Rain Dance.
That'd be funny.
And, like, Weather Ball Charizard.
Weather Ball Venu. Because you want the sun up for your Charizard because Solar Power.
Navir sent me a, it was a Dialga team with Weather Ball Venu. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, it's really cute. It's like, it is. But what are you doing with it? He's like, it Oko's opposing Venus. I'm like, why?
It needs a Venu answer.
Okay, speaking of Weather Ball, slight trip down memory lane here. I was on Reddit today.
Oh no.
And someone posted, they're like, how does this Inteleon I just played have Max Flare? Like, was it next to Groudon? Yeah, now that you mentioned that, it was. Well, there's your answer. That's Weather Ball.
There you go. Figured it out.
Oh, that's some tech.
Yeah, that's some tech right there.
I don't know what they were doing with it, but I'm excited.
I almost think this Thundurus is a support Thundurus.
It could be... Yeah, it could be Prankster.
Prankster Thunder Wave just for speed control. Also, I believe, gets Eerie Impulse.
Yes.
So
it doesn't get Tailwind.
It does not get Tailwind, but that's because you have Thunder Wave. And
then we have Sableye to do Sableye things with...
Yeah. Sableye Quash. Umbreon is Umbreon. It's bulky.
It clicks Wish, and then it does the Zacian.
Has Foul Play. Does it get Snarl?
No, because I think the rest of the evolutions would get it if they did. Mm-hmm. Maybe? I actually don't know the answer to that. You know who does? Showdown.
Internet. Thinking outside of that, this Umbreon's kind of cute as it's like an answer to Shadow Rider.
Yeah, it sits in front of it and says, okay, whatever. It just
sits there and is like, okay, cool. Like, I already have high special defense, so Astral Barrage being a resistant hit does absolutely nothing.
It does get Snarl.
Oh, neat. That's something it can do then.
Yeah, stab Snarl against opposing Yveltals to get the Dark Aura boost.
Boom! Big brain.
Big Calyrex brain.
Speaking of Calyrex.
Got a couple of them here.
Yeah, both of them Ice Riders. Do they both have Speed Swap? Does Meowstic get Speed Swap?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Pheromosa's way faster.
Yeah, I was going to say, Pheromosa is a much better Speed Swap option.
The big thing about Meowstic here, though, you have, like, Thunder Wave and Fake Out. Do you get Fake Out? Okay. Mm-hmm. And Screens. So, like, it kind of feels like the Grimmsnarl role while also being a worse Pheromosa, while also being bulkier than Pheromosa, but you can't really deal damage because your attacks are garbage.
Yeah, whereas Pheromosa gets to hit you if it needs to.
Can also CC you, like, does it get, like, any good bug move?
Define good bug move.
You're right, good talk.
I think it's like a U-turn. That's like the best bug move I can think of.
That's like the best bug move in general.
He gets Feint. I know Pheromosa gets Feint.
Yep, that is one I have seen.
Which breaks Wide Guard. Yep.
It also breaks Quick Guard.
Yep.
Which I don't understand.
Also breaks Crafty Shield.
Sure, whatever, man. I don't care about that one. I've seen Klefki once in the last month. And probably before that, I think the last time I saw Klefki was when you were prepping for Monotype League.
Yep.
That should tell you how little I care about Klefki.
Klefki's great.
Good old boo-boo keys.
Yep. So yeah, the Pheromosa team here is fairly hard Trick Room compared to the other one. It's like Pheromosa's the fast mode for this team. So Calyrex, Indeedee Female, Pheromosa, Rillaboom, Rotom Heat for just coverage, and Stack Attacka. This being our second Stack Attacka so far. Whereas Gingigrade Ninja's team is Calyrex Ice, Meowstic, Incineroar, Kartana, Tapu Fini, and Galarian Zapdos. This is a...
Zapdos is scary.
Yeah.
I'm not having PTSD flashbacks right now.
This Zapdos is kind of scary on this team just because it's just like the speed controls.
Well, also like deterring from Intimidate's coming out. It actually seems pretty okay here.
Yeah. You ready to move on to some usage stats before we wrap up?
Yeah, let's talk overall stats here.
So we got not a bunch of stats because there's only 20 people, but the most common restricted mons here are specifically Kyogre and that's it. Kyogre was probably the most represented mon.
Kyogre at 4, Ho-Oh and Yveltal at 3, and then 2 Groudons, Solgaleos, and Cali Ice. Notably, both the Cali Ice made top 8.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then 1 and 1 from... No Groudon made top 8, right?
1 Groudon made top 8 in Kariba's hands.
Yes, you're right.
And then 1 Ho-Oh because it won. 2 Kyogre.
0 Yveltal. Worst turnover rate.
Which kind of fits into the idea I mentioned last week about Yveltal. It's just like, Yveltal, it may be flexible, but Yveltal shines when it's paired with other with other GMAT, like other restricted mons, because Yveltal's really wanting to be that flexible. Oh, I can Tailwind and Snarl support if I want to, or I can be the weakness policy, kind of filling that Spectrier role in Series 7.
Aaron Zane kind of made a similar point along that same lines of like Xerneas, where Xerneas thrives when it's paired with another restricted mon to pull the to pull the threat away from it, and that's what causes it to shine. Like, sure, getting a Geomancy off in this current format is good, but like, there's just a ton of things to say. Okay, sure, and you're dead. Like, in the face of Shadow Rider or Night Rider, or Ice Rider, it's just like, all right, sure, nice redirection. Also, take a ton of damage.
Yeah,
especially Ice Rider. Be like, all right, oh, you're at +2 special defense. Be a shame if you got hit with a physical attack.
Yeah, right.
Be a shame if you got hit by a stab physical attack that was also base like 120. That's also spread. Did I mention you're dead?
Yeah. Did I mention you just died? Good job. So
nice Geomancy, idiot. So, sit down.
So that's kind of just what it is. It's like a lot of these legendaries that were really good in GS Cup style formats like Yveltal lose a little bit of their power when they're not paired with other restricted mons, because it's just like, oh, that's the threat. Oh, like a lot of people want the restricted mon to do something, and it needs to be something powerful, which Kyogre can do. Kyogre can Dynamax, Kyogre can do spread damage, Calyrex Shadow, Calyrex Ice, they all do the same thing. Groudon does the same thing. Ho-Oh is very bulky and sits in front of people, so Galeo is just new Metagross. It's just whatever.
Like, in all actuality, Solgaleo is Metagross.
Solgaleo is just better Metagross every time.
Faster and I believe hits way harder while also being bulkier. It literally, like, take Metagross and put it on steroids.
Yep, upgrade.
But the big thing is like, do you want to devote your entire restricted slot to it?
Then Yveltal fits that same point. It's just like Galarian Moltres. Do you want Galarian Moltres? Which Galarian Moltres does a very good job of being spread damage and Dynamax option, and does this and that, carries taunt
while
really
also
well.
Being able to be a decent support option. Whereas like Yveltal is doing Tailwind taunt things, you get like taunt and and
it does have Roost, it does have Snarl, it does have Sucker Punch, Foul Play. It's got a decent support move pool, and it's got a very weird coverage move pool. Phantom Force.
Sick.
Heat Wave, Focus Blast.
Yep. I asked you today, because I was putting my Yveltal together for Draft League, I'm like, why does this get Phantom Force?
Yeah, it's just something it got. Because it had Shadow Force before that.
Is Shadow Force the Giratina move? Yeah, for the record, that I don't care what you say, that animation is probably my favorite in the game.
Glacial Lance is really good.
It's really good too.
Astro Barrage is, I could take or leave Astro Barrage, actually.
It's good. It's nowhere near as good as Shadow Force though.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Yveltal.
The Shadow Force
has Phantom Force. As just like physical ghost, which is weird because it's like you don't think of Yveltal being a physical mon.
But man, can it hit you from that side?
Because its signature move Oblivion Wing is special.
But at the same time, I believe it's attack and special attack are equal.
131.
Yeah, which like you put on Sucker Punch, thing's gonna hurt.
Like even if you're timid or just modest, Sucker Punch still picks up KOs.
It still does a lot. I have not ran mixed Yveltal yet, but I guarantee for Draft League
there'll probably be a day where we're gonna have to.
We're just like, alright, well, here's Foul Play, Sucker Punch, Oblivion Wing, and Heat Wave. Just run people over. Assault Vest Yveltal.
Moving from the restricted mons to the normal stuff, 11 Incineroars.
Not surprised.
10 Drillabooms.
Not surprised.
And then we drop down 5 Tapu Fini is the next highest represented mon.
Honestly, I feel like that number's kind of high still.
I actually think it's kind of low.
That's 25% usage.
Yeah, when it was like 40.
I'm actually curious how that lines up with Picolytics.
Picolytics probably is updated by now.
Yeah, they've updated twice in the last week, I think.
So yeah. Now granted, this was 2 weeks ago.
According to Showdown,
If it loads.
Fini is 35.
Okay, so we're just a little bit under.
Incineroar is 24.
Well, damn!
Rillaboom at 18. I feel like this isn't right because I've yet to come across a restricted mon.
That's interesting.
I don't think my app is up to date. Because this has Raichu at 5%. I don't think that's right.
That seems high.
It has Regirock at 5%. I'm pretty sure this is not up to date.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Well, that's unfortunate.
So, thinking back with the last numbers where Tapu Fini was in that 30 range still, so we'd be underneath that. But, again, Kyogre's now here, so that's takes up a lot of people's water slots, so you don't play Tapu Fini because you don't need to play Tapu Fini anymore. Stack Attack and Tornadus at 4, which that makes sense. It's like, here's everyone's speed control options. Oh, I'm going to beat Glastrier up with Stack Attack, and I'm going to pair my Kyogre with Tailwind. I'm pretty sure every Tornadus is probably paired with the Kyogre.
I would be very surprised if that's not the case.
Was there one on the last slide that wasn't?
Yes, there was. The 4th place team did not have Tornadus, but it had Kyogre.
Okay, so yeah, there is one that wasn't paired. So it was probably paired with the other Solgaleo. That would make the most sense.
Just go fast and brutal swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. So rounding these out at 3 usage out of 20. We have Glastrier, Metagross, Rotom Wash, Thundurus, and Venu. More Venus than Groudons.
Yeah, I mean, someone played Venusaur by itself. So there's more Thunduruses on here than I thought there'd be. And 2 of these were in the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a single Glastrier in the top 8?
No. We had 2 Ice Riders, but no Glastrier. No, Metagross ended up winning next to Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think much past that. Like, I don't think there was any Rotom Wash that comes to mind.
No.
No Venus in Top Cut, right?
There was one pair at the Groudon.
Okay. Yeah, because it was Hard Sun with
it was just down
Venu
just and
Charizard.
It's just out of top 4.
Yep.
So
I've actually seen, like, Venusaur next to Torkoal still, and like, there was a team I played on laddering. It was like Yveltal and Torkoal next to Venusaur, and then you had also like a Mungus for redirection. Like, it was a really weird team, but it was really interesting because Torkoal, like, historically in these double restricted formats, Xerneas gets paired next to like Groudon. Because, or, fire type. Insert fire type here. Because your fire types can switch in on your steel spikes. And, like, your Xerneas can switch in on the attacks that threaten your fire type. So, like, they paired well together. So being able to do the thing was really useful. So, Torkoal actually turned out pretty decent there. They ended up maxing the Torkoal over the the Xerneas. I'm just like, thank you? That seems very good for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And then I brought in Lapras and they cried. Dude, that's a mon that, like, no usage here. I mean, in top usage.
Here's one that we didn't see, like, anywhere. Zacian. That's something that a lot of people on the Discord are just, like, avoiding playing with.
Like,
and
I don't want to play
why. It's hard to get a hold of. you have to have sword or have someone with access to sword. 2, it doesn't Dynamax at all, so it's like it's a little bit harder to play with. I played a Gigas Zacian team on stream last week.
It was good.
That team's amazing. Oh my goodness, there is so many things going on in that team, and you can't just do it. You can't just push the go button all the time. Sometimes you gotta take the step back, substitute with Zacian, protect with somebody else, like stall out an extra turn, and it is wild how like deep that team is when all you see is just Gigas wheezing go go go.
All right, let's play a little game here. What has higher usage, Cinderace or Zacian?
According to Pikalytics,
Mm-hmm.
Cinderace.
Lapras or Zacian?
Probably the Zacian.
Togekiss or Zacian?
Togekiss.
So far, you're 3 for 3.
Okay, let's keep.
Zacian is at 5.4. Cinderace is at 7.
Yep.
Togekiss is at 5.9. And what was the other one? Lapras is at 3.
Yeah.
Which, man, Lapras is... Dude, I know you've played it.
Yep.
I've played it. And just like, every time I've played it, it's just like, this is insane.
Oh, Lapras is...
There have been games where I'm just like, I don't need my restricted mon because I have Lapras.
Yep. And that's actually just like your tidbit for team building for the day.
You don't always need to bring your restricted mon.
You don't even build around your restricted mon. Find something that has good synergy with the already established core, like Sun. In the case of Sun, Torkoal v Groudon, Groudon's going to be better than Torkoal no matter what. But like...
Not always. Like, there are definitely instances.
It comes down to just like Groudon's got better bulk and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to put a bunch of stats into Torkoal's defenses to keep it afloat compared to Groudon. For Groudon, you just usually max HP.
Whereas, like, if you're doing Sunroom things, having Torkoal be slower could be beneficial.
Yeah.
In Weather Wars, having the slower mon is beneficial. So there are definitely instances where Torkoal is correct.
Yeah. And
I will argue that all day. But overall, you're going to see way more Groudons than you are Torkoals.
Yeah.
As Pikalytics will show me here. I'm actually interested in that number.
Groudon probably outnumbers Torkoal for sure right now.
Oh, easily. Groudon, according to this, is at 1%.
That seems incorrect. Pikalytics gets everything...
Torkoal is at 7%.
Pikalytics gets all its info from Showdown, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I know Showdown doesn't have a Series 8 ladder. It has a VGC 2021 ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Which the VGC 2021 ladder is just everything. Anything, everything. You're only allowed one restricted, but you don't have to have the restricted. So there's...
I mean, that's how Series 8 is, though.
There's a ton of top teams that aren't even playing restricted teams.
Because the ladder hasn't reset from Series 7.
So that's a lot of the problem right now is just like a lot of the top 1,900, 1,800 teams are Sunroom, but without Groudon because they didn't reset.
Yep.
They mixed up what they did last time because when they went and did Series 6 into Series 7, they made the VGC 2021. Series 7 to Series 8, they probably should have made a different...
Yeah, I wish they had different series for each, like, stage on Showdown. It's like, I mean, I probably would not go back and play like Series 6, but I would like to go back and see what was used then to get ideas. That's my big thing. I really do like to go back and look at old teams and say, okay, this was good in this. How can I build on this and upgrade this?
Yeah, what is my way to upgrade? What is my way to what is my way to make this better so I can do this again in this format?
That might be something we do in our future episodes. Just like, all right, this is a good upgrade for this now.
Yeah.
And just like go through and talk about, hey, this mon has replaced this mon. Similar to what we did in Series 7, where it's just like, all right, well, this is usually strictly better. In most instances, this is the better Pokemon to play because of these reasons.
But yeah. I'm surprised that they didn't make a new Showdown ladder just for Series 8. I really am.
Especially because it is such a drastic change from Series 7 to Series 8.
It's like they were ready to implement GS Cup for Showdown. They had it built up and ready to rock and roll, and then it wasn't GS Cup.
So they had to go back in and be like, all right,
well, we're just going to enable restricted for VGC 2021 and not do anything else, so the ladder's all wonky. I still run into people on Ranked Ladder on card that aren't playing restricted Pokemon.
I haven't yet. I also hit Master Ball today.
Nice.
It took me 16 or 18 games, which I mean is obviously more than I would have liked, but whatever.
I think I'm like 10-4.
I think I have played more games this month than I did all of last month.
I've already played more games on ladder than I normally do.
And it is the 4th.
Yeah, I played more games already than I normally do, and it's only February 4th.
Yeah, there have been times over the last couple of days where I'm just like, all right, I want to go ladder. Why not? You know, previously it was like, all right, well, I need to sit down and record this. Whereas now it's just like, I just want to play Pokemon.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting back into. It's like I've been off ladder for months now, and I'm just like, oh, I want to go play.
Oh yeah, because you're starting in Great Ball 7? Yeah, you get to climb.
Yeah, we were 10-4. We went...
You're in 9, I know. Did you ever hit Ultra Ball?
No, I had to stop because grocery shopping.
Yeah. You were close to Ultra Ball. Mm-hmm. I quit at the Ultra Ball floor.
I need a win. I'm in Ultra Ball. I'm in like an Ultra Ball plus a little bit more.
Yep.
Because I'd be on a 4-win streak.
I played against my current rank. It was like 2,500, I think. So like honestly, it's probably the highest I've ever actually been. Normally I'll get to Master Ball and be like, all right, cool. That's because I'll do it on like.
You just need to get this.
I'll get like the 27th. This is like, easily the earliest I've ever hit Master Ball.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, cool, great, thanks.
Sweet.
So all month it's just like, all right, can we maintain a decent rank?
I made runs for Master Ball for Series 2, Series 3 when we were getting ready for Collinsville and prepping for that stuff.
Back then, I was so bad. When I hit Great Ball, I'm like, all right, this is an accomplishment.
Hitting Master Ball was like just the night before the event was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I actually never hit Master Ball until we started laddering.
Yeah.
And ever since, I've hit it every month.
Yeah. I haven't because I just haven't been playing outside of laddering until February.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the Zacian team was the first team I've played that wasn't for a laddering video in months.
Just sat down and wanted to play Pokemon. Yep.
So yeah.
Dude, it's a good feeling just to be like, all right, I just want to play today.
Yeah, after like feeling terrible about playing and not wanting to play and things like that, I'm just like, yeah, now I want to play. I got the urge back again.
And like part of it is just how cool this format is and how much you actually can do. And part of it is like, I want to play with things to be able to figure out what's good for like Draft League and like testing things there. Not really, but kinda.
Yeah.
Just like kind of spitballing and like, because everything just kind of coincides right now. It's just like, all right, this is great. I can work on things and figure this out and then send it to people and they'd be like, nah, this team sucks. Like, thanks. I know.
Appreciate it.
Make it not suck.
But yeah. Anything else?
Honestly, man, I can't think of anything.
Pokemon Day's coming up in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Our 1-year anniversary's coming up.
We got
I believe
4 weeks for that one.
I believe our
That's
1-year anniversary will be the week after Pokemon Day.
It's the first weekend of March. It's the first or second Monday in March. I know that much. Because Collinsville episode was the Monday after we got back.
Alright, so this is episode what?
49.
50, 51, 52 comes out March 1st.
So it'd be the March 8th would be our
Yep.
1 year. So yeah, so it's that second March. This is the second Monday.
Yeah, Evan tagged us on Discord. He's like, "Hey, y'all gonna do anything big for the Big 50?"
I'd be more interested in for the 1 year.
They're so close; they might as well be celebrated together.
Yeah,
It's not like anything's gonna happen in 3 weeks where we stop.
We could probably do something for the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, for sure.
I know Pokemon Day is like in between there somewhere. So we might do an early episode somewhere for Pokemon Day. Isn't it like on a Sunday?
Yes, it's the
Pokemon
28th, 27th.
27th.
That's a Saturday. That's really awkward.
Pokemon might do something that morning then, but they probably won't do a lot. They'll probably have stuff that.
That's when they're gonna announce Diamond and Pearl remakes.
You're right.
Like, by the way, they're in store next month.
Oh,
like,
goodness.
Like, you know when Series 8 ends, that's when you get the new games.
Not ready for that.
April 1st. Ready for it? Yeah. What's the first Thursday in April? Or first Friday?
If it's the first one,
The second.
I was about to say, if it's the first, I'm going to laugh. April Fools got them all. GG.
Yep, the Saturday before Easter, the Friday before Easter. Good Friday, they're going to release Diamond and Pearl remakes.
They gotta get Pokemon Snap.
No information about.
Gotta get Pokemon Snap out first.
I pre-ordered my copy of Snap.
I need to do that still.
I had a $5 coupon to Best Buy for my birthday.
Nice.
Like, hey, by the way, this expires today. I'm like, all right, I'll go spend $5. I ended up spending $60.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, because you're gonna let's play it.
Yeah. If you're done with Stadium by then.
I'll probably be. I don't know, man.
I mean,
I still have to go level up a Chansey to level 100 to make it happy.
You're dragging this out too. You went to Little Cup.
My Chansey wasn't happy yet.
You're dragging this one out.
Chansey. Yell at Chansey, not me. Do you know how much of a pain it is to make this thing happy with me?
A lot.
Exactly. And then we're in Gen 2 because I'm doing everything authentically.
I know.
And Aaron helped me with the Little Cup team, and we went through all like 70 Pokemon and be like, all right, out of these, let's narrow it down to like 20, and then let's narrow that down to the 6 we're gonna play.
Yeah.
R6 is cool.
Yeah, it's real cool.
I don't know if it's good, but I would rather do that than have to learn how to breed in Gen 2.
It's got Onyx on it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Onyx is one of the best Little Cup mons.
Yep. We have Onyx and Chikorita. No, we have Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
It's Onyx and Bulbasaur and Chinchou and Houndour, Pidgey, and
Is there a water type?
yeah, Chinchou.
Oh, I just...
Onyx, Pidgey, and I got nothing. I literally cannot think of it. I'm recording that tomorrow morning. I don't know what I'm doing. They have stupid swagger strats in Little Cup.
Yeah.
And it's the worst thing I've ever witnessed ever. I had I actually didn't get to send this to you because Tiff had a doctor's appointment last Friday that I recorded. And so I started recording, and she was getting up, and she comes in and goes, hey, my doctor's appointment was at 2, not 3. In the middle of me recording, I'm just like, crap. Guess we're just going to turn this off and restart later.
Yeah.
And so I knew what was going on in that fight before I got to it, because I had gotten to it, and that's where basically the run died at that point. So I knew going in what it was, and I'm just like, this is literally the worst thing I have witnessed in my entire life. I had the worst string of bad luck I ever had. I hit myself 7 times in confusion in a row. The one attack I did get off, I think I was afflicted by affection or something, so I missed. I missed my next attack, and then I hit myself again. I am very glad that did not
I always
make
feel
the
like
team.
Swagger when used against you, you hit yourself every time.
Yep.
And then when you use it on somebody else, no, they're fine.
The only reason I won that fight is because they missed a swagger in like the 5th attempt or something.
Damn.
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah, whatever one that you edited and posted, yeah, that fight, awful. I am glad I don't have to do it again.
Not yet.
I'm going in with 0 more continues.
Say not yet.
So I might stop at Little Cup because it's awful.
Yeah. Little Cup is definitely a whole new breed of insanity.
And I don't want to breed my own team to make it just turbo good to go over things.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Scyther in this has, like, quick attack as its only damaging move. It's like, you can't give me wing attack. You can't give me something good.
I think Scyther is actually banned in Little Cup.
I think in actual Little Cup it is. On Stadium it's not, because who cares?
Yeah, in Stadium it's whatever, but in actual Little Cup I think Scyther's banned.
I think Sneasel is too.
I can't remember.
I don't know, man. I don't play Little Cup.
Exactly. We tried it once and there wasn't a lot of take for it, so we let, if everybody wants to play it, we let them do it themselves.
So now, the next draft league, we're going to do monotype Little Cup doubles.
There ain't enough Pokemon. There ain't enough Pokemon in the game.
I tried.
I couldn't do a draft because there's only, like you said, like
70 viable bonds.
like there's only 70 viable ones.
That's pushing it.
Yeah.
Like, alright, who wants...
Items are not restricted, so anything can hold anything. Everything has Eviolite or Berry Juice. And
who wants Caterpie?
Caternies.
Oh god, Caternies. I forgot about that. For those who don't understand that joke, you don't watch enough GDQ.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even remember what run that was. Was that the XY run from
I think
SGDQ?
I think so.
Oh, it's so
It was a
funny.
while ago now.
It's so funny, because they mentioned it again in AGDQ.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. Okay. We're getting out of here.
I think we're done.
We sat here and rambled for another, 15 minutes.
And we managed to hit over an hour, so I'll take it.
All right, man. Let's get out of here. So, if you're new here, you can always go and follow us on Twitter. Myself at Mr. Missouri25. I recently changed it. I started to actually condense everything into one thing. Carl is at musical_33. And then, of course, the podcast at LR Lessons. Carl and I are on Twitch at Mr. Missouri25 and at Musical. Go and follow us there. If you really like us, drop a sub. It really does help us out with finances and stuff and getting stuff off the ground for our website and patents and all that stuff. And
speaking of that one, we've got we have our first sponsor for Anchor. There's a $10 sponsor.
Dude, sick.
Dashiell Murphy, that would be Beppis.
Dude, that's awesome. $10 on that is real awesome. Page. If you are interested in adding to our funds and helping us out, that is the Anchor support is down in the show notes. You can always go and do that. For as little as 20 or 25 cents an episode, depending on the month, you can make us happy.
Yeah. That'll be in the show notes down below. Might be a dead link, but if you just copy paste it into Google, it'll take you where you need to go.
Sick. And YouTubes. We're on YouTubes. If you're not listening on YouTubes, go follow us. It's great. We have all kinds of stuff talking about Draft League and laddering and all that. That's all there. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live. Leave a like and comment down below talking about question, comment of the day. Carl, go.
I ain't got nothing.
Dude, same.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Talk about what you played in the Rumble on Saturday. Saturday's our first Series 8 on-cart Rumble. So when this goes up, the Rumble will have already happened. If you played in the Rumble, I want to know what you played. If you wanted to play in the Rumble, want to know what you played.
I would, if I was to play, I would play either... honestly, I'd probably play the Giratina team. It's really good. It's really good, man.
I would probably play the Giga Station team if I was playing. That team is fire. It is so much fun.
Discord. Come and join our Discord. And that's where you can
partake in all Rumbles.
yeah, and you can post your teams and we can play them on laddering and everything will be happy and great and perfect in this world.
Yep.
Anything else? I think that's everything.
YouTube, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, did the whole spiel with the support.
Anchor, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic week. Peace.